You're what?
Hey everybody, welcome to chapter 8 section 5. Today we are going to, would you like to take a guess?
Add and subtract rational expressions.
That's right, my pen's not working. Oh yes it is. It was embarrassing. I was trying to highlight. Now the word rational means fractions and expressions means not equations because there's no
Equal sign.
Yep.
Wow.
Very good. Say hi. We have a guest speaker.
Hi, guest speaker.
No. Say hi to the students.
Hi, students.
They apparently like my videos more when you're in them.
Who wouldn't?
Okay. The main idea today is that you have to have a common, guess what?
Denominator, numerator.
No. Shh.
I'm just throwing out
Denominator,
words.
don't. Just say common denominator.
Common denominator.
Okay, so we're going to start easy. These are going to have common denominators in part 1. They will get more...
The dog's in the way.
Yep. They will get more difficult, and eventually in today's lesson, they won't have common denominators. The dog's making a lot of noise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ready? Part 1. We're going to start easy. So rational means fraction. Expressions means x, y, blardy, blardy, blar. Ready?
I'm ready.
Cool beans. How do we add them? Great question. Especially how do we add them if they already have common denominators, which they should know what that means, so we're not going to go over that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the common denominator?
2x.
Oh my goodness, it's like you're a genius. So there's the 2, there's the x. Daisy, the dog's eating the cat. Can you please make that stop? Okay, I'm going to keep going on this example while you fix that.
You do that.
Okay, so the common denominator is a 2x because they both have a 2x. So this 5 really doesn't need anything extra, and the 7 doesn't need anything extra. So it's just 5 plus 7, and 5 plus 7 in the numerator makes 12 over 2x. And then you have to use your skills. Oh my goodness, this is a mess. You have to use your skills from 8-4 to know that the 12 and the 2 cancel. They both divide by 2, so you get 6 over x. Sometimes it reduces at the end, sometimes it doesn't. That was a monomial with a monomial, so totally okay. Please remember that if you have 2 plus x like that, that wouldn't cancel. So don't don't cancel binomials with my monomials. All right, that dog better get her act together. All right, he's back. What's the common denominator in this problem?
A plus 6.
Okay, so we don't have to do anything fancy because, again, I'm giving common denominators. So the 2a is golden. He doesn't need anything extra because he had the common denominator. Same thing with the 12. So when we bring the 2a over, we bring it over like that. Then we bring it over addition sign and a 12. Now here's going to be the kicker.
No, we're making it 12.
Here's the kicker. They have to try to factor the top. Now this is from chapter 8, section 4. So as long as they were productive in the last section, this is what the last section would have looked like. That would have been the problem. So they should know to factor the numerator, which means...
What means factor?
Yeah, how do you factor the numerator?
You take a 2 out.
Excellent job. That's called a GCF. And what do they get?
A plus 6.
Very good. And the denominator is?
A plus 6.
And I can cancel a binomial with a binomial, so the final answer is?
2.
Very good. All right, that's it. That's adding with common denominators. Now guess what we're going to do?
What does that say? Subtract?
With?
Common denominators.
That's right. Okay, so the common denominator in this problem is?
A minus 1.
Do you think that we're going to have common denominators all day today?
No.
We sure aren't. Okay, but we're going to start nice and easy. So that's good and that's good because they both have the common denominator. Watch this. You bring the 5a over. What sign do you bring over?
We have the subtraction.
A subtraction,
minus,
but look.
Got to carry it through.
You have to bring the binomial of 3 plus a over in parentheses so that you remember that you need to distribute the
minus sign.
Guess what? A lot of kids skip that step and they only minus the 3.
They keep the plus a.
Oh my goodness.
The dog
Please
likes
get the
this
dog
math
out of
lesson.
here. Okay, so what's negative times 3?
Is negative 3 minus
And
3.
then a minus a. Go ahead and let the dog out. I'll finish this up.
You can handle that?
We're going to combine the like terms. I can handle this while you leave. Just please come back because I don't know if I can do math without you. All right, combining the like terms in the top. Don't worry, everybody. You get 4a, take away 3, which does not factor. I'm going to write does not factor. I really hope those 3 letters don't mean anything like bad. Does not factor. And then the common denominator, remember, was just a minus 1. And since they're both binomials that don't factor, they don't reduce. Okay, now, don't worry. We have one more before he comes back. This common denominator will be I'm drawing a really long fraction bar. The common denominator, they both have a squared plus 6a plus 5. I'll deal with that in a second, okay? We will end up factoring that. But because this numerator, like the denominator is the common denominator, we're good to go. Again, good to go. Because the denominator matches the common denominator. Okay, so I'm going to bring negative 3a plus 2 over in parentheses because it's a binomial. And I'm going to bring over my minus sign from right here. And I'm going to bring over negative 4a minus 3 in parentheses. You might think it's a little overkill to include all these parentheses, but you'll be wrong because the negative will really hurt you if you forget it. So these first set of parentheses, yeah, you're right. Those mean absolutely nothing because essentially you're just distributing a positive 1, which does nothing. But those second parentheses, boy, oh boy, do they mean something? Yes, they do. He's back.
The apple of your eye has returned.
Can you distribute that negative and tell them what they get?
Plus 4a plus 3.
Okay, very good. And now can you combine those like terms?
Yeah.
What is she chewing on?
A bone.
Okay, so 1a.
Mm-hmm. Plus 5.
Okay, does that factor?
Technically, you take 1 out. I don't know.
Right, we could take a 1 out, but we could literally be doing that all day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to write the 1 because, like, in math, we just assume. Right, or actually, no, it's implied. All right, now we're going to take this little guy and we're going to go way over here. He just duplicate. He duplicates again. See, every time there's an equal sign, I duplicate it. Okay, so now this is the problem. This will take them back to the previous section. And they should know to factor the denominator. Can you factor that in your head?
Yeah, I can.
Go ahead.
A plus 5, a plus 1.
That is correct. And if they can't factor it in their head, they should pause the video, get a blank piece of paper, and either do grouping or boxing. Okay.
Boxing. Kickboxing.
Oh my goodness. Binomial with binomial. What do you think the answer is?
1 over
You're so smart.
a plus 1.
I really hope that is her chew bone that she's eating. Okay.
Sure.
Do you think those ones cancel?
No.
Because the one is a monomial in the top, but it's part of a binomial in the bottom. Answer. Okay, now, I'm so glad you came back because I'll know how good I did based on how you do.
Ooh.
Hey, kiddos. He read an Algebra 1 textbook that I wrote, so he has Algebra 1 down.
Oh, do
this
I?
Is this is Algebra 2, so I need all those Algebra 1 skills that I taught you to be sharp.
Okay.
Okay, good. So let's dive into some Algebra 2 using your Algebra 1 stuff, skills.
Can't wait.
Okay, good. This is definitely more difficult. There will be no common denominator. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Me too. Here are your steps. I like steps. They're like checklists.
Like
and
a
you know
list.
how I feel about checklists.
It's a list.
They have to have these memorized. What do you think is going to happen if they don't have these memorized?
They're not going to
They're going to fail this section.
Yeah, don't fail, people.
Don't fail. Don't fail this section.
Don't fail
Some of them aren't
yourselves.
even
Don't
watching
fail
this, so I
yourselves.
mean, like, we're already woof. All right, here we go. Step 1, factor your denominators. Guess what kind of skill that is?
I'm going to say Algebra 1.
Which means take out a GCF and then do the double parenthesis by box or grouping, if need be. You might not be able to do that, but again, that's an Algebra 1 skill. Number 2, find the common denominator based off the denominators you just factored. Bring that over to a new big long fraction. CD stands for?
Common denominator.
Thank you. I hope they ever want you on.
Do you think they know about CDs? Compact discs?
Can you not do that right now?
Sure.
Okay. Then they're going to have to figure out what the numerators are going to be missing something because the denominators won't have each part of the common denominator. Like if the common denominator is 6, but the other denominator is 3, they'll need a 2. Let's just see it. Okay. And then there's like 4 steps there. Carry over the numerator bar. They'll see it. Look how pretty I did. Look at these steps.
Beautiful.
I redid it. Number 4, they should read. Hold on. Remember to do this. You just have to find out what's missing for the denominators. Carry the old numerators over in a new fraction along with the missing stuff. Be very careful with negatives. My smartest kids, this is where they mess up because they think too fast. Some of you might be able to attempt to skip this step. Don't. And then some of you might be tempted to cancel stuff here. Don't. Okay. Oh boy. That's going to be distribute the numerators together and combine like terms. And be very careful with your minus signs. Then they're going to try to factor again. You can see why I told the kids if you can't factor, you're going to fail. Like you have to be able. And it's not. I'm not being mean. I'm just being honest. Okay. So you factor your numerator if you can, because once they get here, they're back to chapter 8, section 4. And then they can reduce. I'm going to use the word, I'll use the word cancel. We should probably use the word reduce. Monomials with monomials and binomials with binomials. Then you rewrite what you have left. Remember, the test might have things that didn't cancel distributed back in. 7 steps. Should they memorize
7.
them?
Well, there's a lot of sub-steps, too.
Should they memorize them?
Absolutely.
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 I'm not going to give them the steps on the test because they should have them memorized. Miss Miles needs them to have it for calculus.
Needs
Needs.
to know like the back of your hand.
Okay, here we go. Step 1 was factor your denominators if possible. Does this denominator factor? Oh, remind me, I want to try to color code these. So I'll do all of my first denominators in red. Does this denominator factor?
Yeah.
How?
Let's see here. X, what is that? Minus 2, x plus 1.
You're really close.
Wait, what did yes,
Okay.
yes.
And that's totally fine. If they can't do that, they should pause the video and try because that's an algebra
1.
skill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what about 1 minus x? Does that factor?
No.
It does.
Oh, you can take out a -1.
If we take out a -1, now this is going to blow their... Oh, no, they should have done this in 8-4. If we take out a -1, we can reverse the subtraction to be x minus 1. And if they need more help with that, they should just ask.
Just
Okay.
ask.
Now, I'm going to scratch that out. Oh, I was going to color coordinate you. What color should I use for the second? Blue?
Ooh,
Good.
Sure.
We don't have time to... We have to try to get this done, so they stick with us. Now, you want to see something really cool?
Yeah.
See that -1?
Mm-hmm.
It joins that minus sign, and guess what it actually will become?
A positive.
That's right. So I'm going to get the black pen. I'm going to write positive and positive. I think that's neat.
Ooh.
And we should
Subtracting
draw
a
an
negative.
arrow. Okay. So step 1, factor denominators, we did. Step 2, do you have a guess as to what the common denominator is?
Oh, I'm going to say x minus 1.
That is
That's
not
part
correct.
of it.
That's the least common factor, but it's not the least common denominator.
Is x plus 2, x minus 1, is that your...
It is x plus 2 and x minus 1. Do you think we need another x minus 1?
Another one?
Yeah. Do you?
No, we already
No,
have
we
one.
already have one. Okay. So it's I don't know how else to say this, but here's how I say it. I said it's all the different pieces of the denominators that are different than each other. So like we need a single x plus 2, we need a single x. Now if this had another x minus 1, we would need another x minus 1 because the one fraction would have 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. They'll see that come into play. I know that's hard, so I'll make sure I touch on it later. Okay, so the common denominator is they each have they each need an x plus 2, and they each need an x minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Give each fraction what it was missing and rewrite it here. So here's my big fraction bar. That's a good fraction bar, right?
Yeah, very nice.
Now my
Steady
first,
hand.
what was my first numerator? Oh, I like to do this. Okay. Out of this common denominator,
Mm-hmm.
what did the first fraction, what was it missing? Like, what was this missing from over here?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's right. So I'm just going to say, hey, that has what we need. What was this missing?
X plus 2.
It's missing an x plus 2, so this needs an x plus 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm with you.
That's lovely. Now what we're going to do is I want you to bring over the gray highlight. So what is the gray highlight?
X.
Now I want you to bring over the orange highlight.
X plus 2.
I need a sign.
Yeah, sign.
Yeah, it was
Positive.
positive because it was a plus problem.
Yeah.
And now bring over the monomial first. So bring over the
5x.
5x. And
X plus 2.
in parentheses.
Yes.
Okay, so if I were to color code that, here's where the orange is. Here's where the gray is. Am I doing okay?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm with you.
Okay, common denominator was what?
X plus 2 and x minus 1.
Okay. Now we distribute our numerator together. Here's my fraction bar.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to read the numerator and I want you to distribute. So what's the first item?
X
And then,
plus 5x squared
and then,
plus 10.
close. plus
Oh,
10
plus 10x.
x.
Yeah.
Good. Then the denominator just kind of keeps coming over. Now, if possible, which it is possible, step 4b is you need to combine those like terms.
Ah,
So what would that be?
well, let's see. We have 11x there.
Right, what should I write first?
5x squared.
5x squared and then 11x?
Plus 11x.
5x squared plus 11x. Now, after they combine, they should try to factor the numerator.
Mm-hmm.
Does the numerator factor?
Indeed it does.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to cheat here. Okay, how do we factor the numerator, please?
Take an x out of
And
each.
what would you have if you did that?
X times 5x plus 11.
Good. And then, do you think anything cancels?
Doesn't look like it to me.
No. Some kids might try to do this, but that's not
Can't
okay
do
because
that.
this is a monomial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now what we do is, since nothing canceled, their final answer.
Look at that.
Now, here's how I know if they use photomath.
Mm-hmm.
Their final answer is distributed back together. I purposely want you guys to leave it factors so I know you're not cheating. That seems pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it factors so I know you're not cheating.
They wouldn't cheat.
Yes, there would absolutely be some. But using photomath to check your answers is fine.
Absolutely.
Okay. That was the air freshener. Does that factor the first denominator?
Yeah.
And because I'm doing this step 1. Well, how does it factor?
I think if I'm not saying that's the very first same one, right? X plus 2, x minus 1.
Which is what type of skill?
Algebra 1 skill.
That is correct. And now
Do I get a certificate after
does this factor?
I can't see your hand in the way there.
The left hand.
No.
No, it does not factor, so it's just x plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
I should not have wrote it again since it doesn't factor. So I'm just going to scribble that one out and leave that one alone. Can you guess, based off of what you see there, look at these denominators that I'm highlighting in brown. Remember, that's a whole separate fraction.
Pretty color.
What's your common denominator, please?
X plus 2 and x minus 1.
X plus 2 and x minus 1. Do we need an extra x plus 2?
No.
Because the second fraction only has...
Already has it.
has it, yeah, and it doesn't have 2 of them. Okay, so now give each fraction what it's missing. Rewrite it here. So I'm going to do this. And I want to go here to do that missing part. Okay, so I'm going to leave the common denominator in the frame right there. Does the first fraction have the common denominator?
Yes, it does.
Check mark. Does the second fraction have the common denominator?
No.
What is it missing?
X minus 1.
So if it's missing on the bottom, you got to put it on the top because technically that's a ratio of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first, second. You ready? Because now step 3 is give them what they're missing and rewrite it here. So what should I write for my first,
X?
yeah. Oh, I highlighted it in gray last time, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay, so what do I write?
X?
1x or just x, correct. Now orange highlight. What do I write for this?
X minus
No,
1.
no, start with the sign.
Minus
Sorry. Minus. Then the monomial.
1.
And then parentheses.
X minus 1.
Okay, so to color code that, I would do gray, orange. Looks
Got
okay?
it.
Okay, step 4, distribute that stuff together. So what would I write?
Oh, so you don't do the denominator right now?
I mean,
Or you
it's
don't
so
have to.
useless.
I see.
It's
You just
useless until
copy it.
here.
Gotcha.
Okay, so can you help me distribute?
Let's see. X minus x plus 1.
I bet that's an annoying sound. I need some water.
Okay.
Okay, can you get it for me? And I'm going to go ahead and copy the common denominator over. So remember your common denominator was this. Thank you. I love you. Hello, I love you.
Right back at you, kid.
That's what I thought. Okay. Distribute the numerator together. So we just did that. So part 4b. Now when we distributed our numerator, started to combine those like terms. So I have a like term of x minus 1x. What's x minus 1x?
0.
And then that plus 1 in the back is just
1.
1. And that's going to be over my common denominator of...
X plus 2. X minus 1.
Good. I'm just going to... I see that water. Thank you. I just know that if I don't keep going, they're not going to stay with me. I guess if they care, they will.
Yeah. They don't mind listening to you swallow some water.
I choked on my own spit at Ariel's house tonight.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you.
And you survived to tell the story.
I did. Does
job.
the numerator factor?
Can you factor 1? No.
Now, big question. So I'm just going to write no. Can you cancel anything then?
No.
All right. So I think some students might want to cancel like the 1 on the numerator with the 1 in the denominator, but that's a monomial. That's a binomial.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Don't do it.
I have a laser pointer somewhere. I just got really distracted. That was not okay. So since you can't factor or cancel, that is your final answer.
Final answer? Who wants to be a millionaire?
Okay, we're not going to do those. These come on a different video.
Okay.
Okay, good. I want to make sure they watch them all because they're all so important. I really took the time to retype them. I'm so anxious. This is horrible. Okay, can you factor this denominator?
No.
Because it is a
monomial.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even have to make you did it. Does this factor?
No.
Because it is a
monomial.
Hopefully they know that. Does this factor?
Yes. No.
No, because it is a
monomial.
This is going to be hard for a lot. Common denominator.
Ooh, got it. All right, you ready?
6, 2, and 8. I need you to think about 6, 2, and 8.
6, 2, and 8.
Think of multiples of 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because 8 is the biggest number here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of multiples? So this is how we do monomial problems. That's what this is, a monomial problem. I did it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, multiples of 8.
Mm-hmm.
8, 16, 24.
Ding, ding, ding.
Why are you picking 24?
Because 2, 6, and 8 all go into 24.
2, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate?
Nate. That's me.
That's smart. Okay, so 24, because they all go into 24. Now, if they picked 48, they would actually be okay. It would just, like, at the end, it makes for really big numbers that they have to reduce.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, what other variable do you see?
A.
How many a's does the first fraction have?
Well, a squared.
Okay, a squared. How many about the second one?
Just a.
Do you know the least common multiple between the two of those?
The least a squared.
Yes. Guess what kind of skill that is?
I'm going to guess algebra 1.
That's an algebra 1 skill. It's a keystone tested item.
I had my badge.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got your badge. I must have done a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Pat myself in the back. Okay, what other variable do you... Thank you. What other variable do you see?
B.
What's like the... I see a b and I see a b squared, so the least common multiple is?
B squared.
So as long as their algebra 1 skills are awesome there. But if they have trouble, what should they do?
Phone a friend?
They should absolutely phone a friend or like look it up and relearn it, right?
Yeah.
Love you guys. All right. I do. I care. I worry because I care. Now, what sarcastic comment do you have there?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Now, since the common denominator is this, we need to think about what everything's missing. Are you ready to go back?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to do that in purple. Okay. What does 6 need
4.
to become a 24?
4.
Doesn't need any more A's.
No.
Doesn't need any more B's.
Yes. B squared.
So if...
I'm tempted to say 2 B's, but that's not the same
Yeah,
thing.
you're right. Does this make sense? Because if you multiply those two, what do you get?
You get 24a squared b squared.
Which is the common denominator we need.
Correct.
Okay. What does the 2 need to become 24?
12.
Doesn't need any more A's.
It needs, yes.
Doesn't need any more B's.
Yes, another one.
So whatever the bottom needs, the top needs.
Multiply it out.
I don't know when you learn. I mean, I should know maybe I think it's in like 6th grade that they start adding fractions. This is just like a very intense, same thing.
So nothing to be scared about.
No. What does 8 need to become 24?
3.
Any more A's?
Yeah, a squared.
Any more B's?
Nope.
Okay. All right, now we're
We
on
should play
step.
math 24.
I love to dominate that. Okay, so the first fraction is that. Tell me what to bring over. Don't miss anything.
4b squared
Times 1, right?
times 1.
4b squared. Do you think that's really important, the times 1?
I don't think so, but is it important?
Here's what happens. The kids who forget to do it on the problems where it's just 1 tend to forget it when it's not just one.
Oh.
So by doing it, it's making good habits.
Good habits.
Okay. Now,
like brushing your teeth.
it's exactly like brushing your teeth, honey.
Okay, good.
That was such a good comparison. Okay, now this.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I highlighted the sign. Tell me what to bring up. No, I saw the sign. I highlighted the sign.
Minus 1, 12 AB.
In parentheses.
Yes, in parentheses.
Okay, and now I'll highlight in blue. Do you think they're still following along?
Plus, who's to say?
I don't know.
3 times, in parentheses, 3A squared.
My smartest kids tend to skip that step. And unfortunately, it catches them sometime. All right, tell me a little bit now about distributing those together.
Okay, so let's see. We have 4B squared.
Now, would like to make... Some kids try to, like, cancel here.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Not yet. Not till here.
I'll throw you out. No.
Okay. Okay, now what?
Minus 12AB plus 9A squared.
Oh, shoot. Does this factor? Okay, and then that's over 24...
A squared, B squared.
Okay. Now, we're going to put that in standard form. Can we combine any, like, terms?
No.
Ew, gross. So it's just 9A squared. I'm going to write it in order. It's actually 9A squared.
Plus 4B squared.
No, minus 12AB. Sorry, hon. Plus 4B squared all over 24A squared B squared.
How does AB go before B squared?
It's a thing.
Okay. If you say so, Teach.
I do.
If you say so.
Because I want them to try to factor this. Ooh, can I do that? Can you and I do that in our heads?
What, the top?
Yeah, I think.
Let's see here.
Are we smart enough to do this, honey?
The only thing you can take out.
Wait, no, it would be...
You can't take...
Hold on, that'd be minus 6 and minus... That's it. That does factor. Now, us factoring that in our head probably did not make a lot of sense to them. Guys, you would have to do the grouping method or the box method there. But I will tell you what. Do you think factoring really matters in this problem?
The way you said that, I'm going to guess no.
I tricked you. No, I didn't. I didn't trick you. No, it doesn't matter because what are these? Starts with a B.
A B?
They're each binomials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's this?
It's a...
There's no adding. It's a monomial. So since those are binomials and that's a monomial, nothing cancels. That's like the rule. So I'm okay with either of these as answers. The test, in all likelihood, when it's like when it does that, it's gonna look like that at the end. However, I'm also okay with that.
I understand.
We've got one more. You know what, guys? I'll give you a high five tomorrow. If you ask me for a high five, it means you made it to the last example. I'm really praying they did because every example has a purpose. It does. That's why I spent 2 hours redoing this assignment. It's fine. Don't worry about it, Amy. Does that factor?
No.
Does that factor?
Yes.
How?
You take a 2 out. And x plus 2.
Is that cat scratching? Does this factor?
Yes. You
How?
take an x out.
And?
Yeah, x plus 2.
Okay. Let me see how you do.
Okay.
Going through the steps. So step 1, did you do step 1, factor your denominators? Can you try to tell me what the common denominator is? This was hard.
Let's see here.
I'm ending with the most difficult.
I'm going to go with 2x times the x plus 2.
That is true. Can you tell them where the 2 came from?
Right there. In
The
front
monomial?
of that. Yeah, yeah.
Tell them where the x came from.
And the pink one there.
The monomial. Tell them where you got x plus 2.
Well, it's in all of them there. X plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 2.
And we only needed it once because each only had it once.
Right.
Okay. Give each fraction what it's missing and rewrite it here. So
Gotcha.
At this point, it's if I taught it right, you should be able to do this.
Mm-hmm. So you just want me to do that?
Tell me what I'm going to change to green.
Okay. The first is missing another 2x.
I know. See, I like to see my common denominator over here. Okay. Now I can really zoom in. Go ahead, try again.
You need a 2x.
Because it doesn't have the 2 or the x.
Right.
That is correct.
It has the x plus 2.
Okay. And we're referencing these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
You're missing an x in the next one, though.
Because it has this and this.
Correct. You know your stuff.
The last one?
We needed to add 2.
Because it has...
The x and the x plus 2.
Okay, ready for the next thing?
Ready, teach.
Okay, tell me what to write. If I did this right, you should be able to tell me what to write.
2x squared.
Oh,
what?
You did... I don't like it when people skip this step.
Do what? Oh, just put the x times the 2x.
You're an incredibly smart human.
Why, thank you.
But I hesitate with kids doing that. I really do. Okay, do the next one.
Okay. I need plus. And you don't put that sign yet. Plus 1. And then put an x in parentheses.
Doesn't really make a difference here. No, but if it did and they forgot it, then yikes. Good habits. Okay.
Good habits, like brushing teeth. Minus 3.
That's the cat.
Minus 3 times. Put that 2 in parentheses there.
It really matters, especially like what if that was a binomial and you had to distribute a -3? Am I making sense? Like, what if this was a binomial and you had to distribute a -3? If you didn't do that parenthesis thing, like, yikes. Okay, and...
Yikes with a capital X.
Can you walk me through the next step? What, distribute the numerator?
Yes. Now is where I'm going to go 2x squared.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I was trying to go to 4a in my head.
I know. Stop rushing.
Plus x.
You're always rushing.
Minus 6.
Okay. Still, the denominator means nothing right now. Combine your like terms on the top, please.
What? There are no like terms in the top.
You're right. I'll go ahead and get the denominator now. I probably could have written it faster than
Probably.
that. Factor the numerator. Ooh, let's see your factoring skills.
Okay. Let's see here. Ooh.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
So you had to see 2x.
I can't tell you.
Ooh.
Who to suck to.
Is it plus 3?
Sorry, I don't know.
Plus 3.
I won't know until you do it.
Times x minus 2.
Now, these children might need to do the box or the grouping method.
Did I do that right?
I'm going to check right now. 2x squared minus 3 minus... Nope, you got your signs backwards.
What?
Sorry, bub.
How did I get my signs backwards?
Well, I mean, you got the signs backwards, so that's how. Because you need that to be 4 and -3 to get a positive one.
Oh, yes,
It's okay.
yes.
Hopefully the kids paused the video and tried factoring on their own.
But as long as I give you a high five tomorrow.
Oh, yes. Give me 2 high fives if you made it this far.
Whoa.
I might even have candy in that bag. I'll give you candy.
But if they didn't hear this part,
then that's their own fault. They won't get candy.
You're
They have
candy
to,
in
they
front
have
of
to tell me the magic word, wrapping paper. Wait, that's 2 words. They have to tell me the magic phrase, wrapping paper.
Let's focus here.
I'm sorry. Okay, we're almost done. Cancel what you can.
Okay. What are we canceling here? X plus 2.
Yes. Binomial with binomial. What about this 2x and that 2x?
No.
You're right. Boom. Okay, good. And final answer.
2x minus 3 over 2x.
So I did an okay job?
Yes, I think I did a better job, but...
Okay, now, I'm personally done. I do have on their homework restricted values. I'll do them quickly. Restricted,
like
they should know.
values?
Yeah, it's the least common denominator can't be 0. So like in here, x can't be 0. This can't be 0. They know these as points of discontinuity, so I should be able to go through these pretty fast. So those are restricted values. I'm just going to go through them quickly. The restricted values here, like a can't be 0 and b can't be 0, because that would make your denominator 0.
And that would be a no-no.
This one, x cannot be -2, x cannot be positive 1. These are called points of discontinuity. They already studied this. They just had a quiz on it today. So the kids who did well on their quiz hopefully understand.
Did they all have their flashcards and everything too?
Some kids did not bother to memorize their flashcards. That made it sad for them. And I'm trying not to carry that burden because I made the flashcards and they didn't study them. Okay, but it's okay. Maybe they'll study them for the test.
There you go.
That would make me joyful. Are you following what I'm doing? Or am I going to... So these are called points of discontinuity, kiddos, okay? They might be holes. They might be vertical asymptotes. So I just wanted to go through that. That's where you get your restricted values from. Yes, holes and asymptotes. That's true, honey. Okay. Do you want to give the kids any words of wisdom who are still listening?
Yeah, listen to Mrs. Langeli. She knows what she's doing.
I want them to do well.
Yeah.
I do. I sound mean. I want them to do well. I just want them to study the flashcards I made. I think that should be a thing.
I didn't study them. But I did go over your
Bye,
textbook.
guys.